Good evening from the Philippines. My name is Roger Owen. I don't know how to be politically correct. I only know how to be honest. Shoot from the hip. Here I go. I moved to the Philippines about 16 years ago. Never went back to the US. I started coming here 35 years ago. Okay, so it's not like I'm brand new to the Philippines. I know what this country is, and I know how most Filipinos, about 95%, think about, especially white Americans. I can't speak for other nationalities. I can only, obviously I'm white. I can only speak for white people. Make a long story short, Washington, D.C. doesn't give a rat's ass about white people, white Americans, and the Philippines. They turned our US Embassy over to Filipinos, which obviously help Filipinos go to the US so that they can exploit the US, get jobs, send back money, remittance, citizenship, own homes, work, vote. White Americans get nothing in the Philippines. We don't even get the support of our own government. The American government, the U.S. Embassy in Manila, which is ran by Filipinos. I'm talking about the Social Security Administration, which looks over like 46 different countries. For whatever reason, they didn't even send my Social Security check, which is only $760 a month, which takes every bit of it for me to, squeeze through by the time I, pay my rent. Got a 16-month-old baby I'm supporting. There's just zero. I mean, absolutely zero. And it's not like I'm one of these Americans that, drunkards or a pedophile or whatever, and come here to escape scrutiny from, society back there in the U.S. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use drugs, I don't gamble, I don't womanize. I try to live a responsible lifestyle. But how can you live a responsible lifestyle when the American government has turned their back on you? Straight up. And as far as trying to deal with these Filipinos in the U.S. Embassy, absolutely impossible. It's not possible. And so, my personal opinion, do not come to the Philippines. There are countries to where they are less hostile towards white Americans. Like Cambodia, like Vietnam, Malaysia, whatever. Do not come to the Philippines. It's not worth it. A lot of the Filipinos, they're under this old mentality. We're occupiers. We stole their gold. We have sex with their women. Wait a second. Doesn't the females have a choice who they want to have sex with? Not in the eyes of these paranoid, brown-skinned, flat-nosed Filipino guys. From their perspective, those women belong to them, and they should be the only one that should have sex with them and put little brown babies in them and then run away and not pay any child support. That's the way these people are. It's because of the white American that they have corruption in the Philippines, because we stole their gold. I've just heard it all, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not going to run this video very long. I'm trying to keep it short. But the reality is, the American government has turned their back on us. They don't take care of us. Main reason? Because there's no white people in the U.S. Embassy. Very few. It's all ran by Filipinos, and of course they're going to help their own kind. Duh. It doesn't take that much to figure that out. And so, it's a bad situation. It really is. Right now, I'm totally broke. Very little food in the house, no money in any of my bank accounts. I mean, nothing. And these Filipinos, this is not the first time they've done this to me. They stopped my Social Security for 10 months straight, claiming that I was overpaid. Not one single penny was given to me for 10 months straight. And then when they did start to take it, they took a large percentage of it. They garnished. Now, the U.S. Embassy, Washington, D.C. sent me a letter stating that the most they could take was 10% for so-called overpayment. Okay, now let's clarify this. What's an overpayment? They sent me a double check in the very beginning, back, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, whenever. And I tried to return it. I contacted them. I said, I got this other check. What do you want me to do with it? Mail it to you? Send it back to Washington, D.C.? What do I do with it? They instructed me to deposit it. So I did. And then the next month came, and I got a second double check. And I called them again, asked them. It happened again. What'd I do? They told me a second time, deposit it. Well, this kept on going on for a period of time. I don't know, a year and a half, whatever. I just kept on putting these checks in a separate account. I didn't touch it. But I do have a weakness. It's not drinking, it's not drugs, it's not gambling, it's not females, it's big motorcycles. Now, that's where my heart lies. I love a big bike. And I came across this 1100cc Suzuki ZZR, 1995. At that time, they were the fastest motorcycle on planet Earth. Okay? Bingo. My heart fell out for this bike, and there went that money. Well, it wasn't long after that. You know, I was married to this Filipina, and bonehead stupid, man. These people, on average, have got the lowest IQ of any race of people in all of Asia. Matter of fact, these are not really Asians. They're a mix. And, you know, I don't want to go into it, but they're not even fully human. You know, they're a mix between human and Devasaurian, a pre-species, human species, okay? And ironically, what it says on Google is a human male could not breed one of these Devasaurian females to make offspring. It was only the female that could breed the Devasaurian and produce an offspring. Bingo. You got your Filipinas and your Filipinos, called the Attas. They're so-called Indians, which a large percentage of these Filipinos have got a certain percentage of these Attas, which are non-fully human, mixed in with them. And so I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. If you do get attached to a Filipina in the Philippines, number one, don't marry her. When you do, everything in your name becomes a property of that Filipina. Don't think this Philippine government likes you. They don't. You're here having sex with their women. You're occupiers. Forget about, it was a white man, the white American, that gave them their hospitals, their roads, their schools, their government, their constitution. Every time they had a natural disaster in this shit country, the white American taxpayer was dishing out money to these Filipinos. And guess what? Not even a thank you. We got nothing in return for everything we've done for these people. And, you know, it's even worse than that. I've asked many Filipinos, what's if they went into a Philippine embassy in the U.S. or any other country and they see nothing but white people working on it? Would they like it? Not a single one has said yes. They all said they would not like it. And yet, we're supposed to accept it because Washington, D.C. is a freaking cunt. And because it's cheap labor. Filipinos don't even have the mentality to run a nuclear power system. At least Iranians were trying to make one. Filipinos don't even have that ability. So a Filipino is even less than someone from Iran. And I could go on all night about this, but I don't want to. Obviously, I'm a little bit hungry. I've got no money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got another 3 weeks. What are they going to do? Are they going to hold my Social Security check next month, which usually comes on the 4th, direct deposit? Or are they going to snail mail it to me, which takes 30 days for it to get here, then another 30 days for it to clear through a bank? I don't know what to do. Bottom line is, Donald Trump, look, man, I love you. Get the freak out of the Philippines. Leave these Filipinos alone and stop handing out the American taxpayers' money to them. Leave these people alone. Andrew Carnegie, which was the richest person in the entire world back in the early 1940s and before, he don't even want us there. He was willing to pay the American government 20 million USD to get out of the Philippines. Why 20 million USD? Because when the England was controlling the Philippines for about 2 years, they ransacked the whole place and they looted and stole everything they could get their little greedy hands on. Well, the American taxpayer again paid 20 million USD to get the Brits out of the Philippines. And so that's where that number came from. And so I'm going to cut it short. God bless you. Look, Donald Trump, please, and Visayan is Palihug and Tagalog is Pakiusap. Get my Social Security check to me, because I need it to live. Okay? Please stop the onslaught of these Filipinos taking advantage of the American taxpayer. These people don't even like us. They've never said thank you. And it's a bad investment. You want to put our money somewhere? Put our money in a country that at least likes us a little bit. I mean, you cut a deal with Cambodia, with Thailand, and I think Malaysia lately, as far as on tariff. You want to send our money somewhere? Send our money somewhere to where at least they like us a little bit. Because the vast majority of these Filipinos, they hate us. They totally hate us. And they rob and steal and lie and cheat. Look, there's a couple good ones. My best friends happen to be Pinoy. But they are not the homegrown ones. They were OFWs. They've worked abroad. They've got Western culture. But the domestic ones that's never been off the island, and you got like 7,107 islands, they've never been off their own island. Those people there, they've got nothing going for them. Absolutely nothing. And they see the white skin and they totally hate it. I'm going to stop now. God bless you. Donald Trump, please get my Social Security to me. I need it in order to survive. And as far as this appointee, the new one, as ambassador to the Philippines, God bless you. I'm glad that hopefully you'll get through the Senate and things will get better here. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.